you everyone for joining us today. We have a really cool approach to the webinar today where we're more than just driving slides. We are showing you real solutions in action, real use cases that you can deploy today with DTEN and Zoom to really take advantage of hybrid work, video conferencing, collaboration, and everything you can use to bring your team together, make you more productive. So real quick, let's run through some of the solutions you're going to see. Kiosk mode, which is becoming very popular for re-entering an office, re-entering a shared space. We'll see that with virtual receptionists. We'll see a huddle room with an all-in-one system. We'll see a hybrid classroom that is suitable for both K through 12 and higher ed. We'll run through some digital signage. We'll talk about some new advanced digital signage that'll be coming down the pipe here soon. The infamous in-office phone booth, where you can also utilize your Zoom rooms plus your Zoom phone license in a modern day phone booth. And then we'll touch base on the very new hot desking and hoteling solution that we've co-created that will really allow people to re-enter the office safely, share spaces, and really enhance that hybrid work element. So a lot of great stuff we're going to run through, including some new updates for that hybrid work approach, new virtual receptionists, new hoteling and hot desking. That includes the new DTEN Me Pro. And then we'll wrap up with some Q&A. So as we go along, feel free to throw them in the Q&A box. I'll be watching. We'll try and grab some live as we go through if we can and get all of your questions hopefully answered here this morning. So real quick, DTEN and Zoom have been at it since 2017. We are aligned here as innovation leaders providing hardware and software solutions to really drive an exceptional customer experience, to keep you happy, to keep your employees happy, to keep collaborating, and to keep all your meeting needs here dialed in. So we completely co-develop and engineer our products to work together for that optimal experience. And I think you'll see that as we go through the tour. Last, DTEN is known as an industry-leading device manufacturer, both for the simplicity, the value, but also that performance and that customer experience, I think, is heads and tails above anything else you might see that's available in the market today. So that kind of brings us up to jumping right in with Mark Barragan. Appreciate you guys being here again. Let's jump over to Zoom HQ in San Jose, California, where Mark is going to walk through a real floor of Zoom. So this is not an executive level, it's not high end, this is obtainable by everyone to deploy and scale up these solutions. So we're super excited and appreciate it, Mark. Hand it over to you, sir.
Awesome. Thank you, Scott and Jackson, so much. We really look forward to giving you the tour today. Again, my name is Mark Barragan. Thanks for taking the tour today with us here at Zoom headquarters. Many of our customers over the past 18 months have said, Zoom, what are you doing to safely return us to the office? And also, how do we excite the employee base to want to go back? Everybody got used to the hybrid environment, working from home remotely. But now as we go back in the hybrid environment, we've done some really cool things here to enable that once the Zoomies start returning to the office. So we want to share that with you guys today. All the stuff that we've done here, we collaborated with the DTEN team in order to make this possible. And again, like Scott said, we need to make it simple, right, to deploy these things. They can't be complex integrated rooms. That's another thing we're getting from our customers is we need to have simplicity so that we can scale this. And I would say that, I think we've accomplished that with the Zoom and DTEN team. So we're going to give you the experience right from when I walk through the actual front desk here, the front doors here at Zoom headquarters. And you're going to know some really cool things, whether it's a Zoomie or it's an actual visitor. So let's take the tour. So as I walk through over here, the first thing you're going to notice is that we normally have a live receptionist person here up front. Well, today, guess what? Our receptionist is working remotely. So basically what we have here is the DTEN Me. And what we're doing here is we have it in what's called kiosk mode, running virtual receptionist application. So right when I walk in, again, whether I'm a customer or I'm a visitor, I simply come over here, click on the button, and what's going to happen is it's going to go find me a receptionist in the background. And basically what's going to happen is here we go. So, hey Mona, how are you?
Hello.
Hey, I have a group of webinar folks here that we want to just take into our office. Is that okay if we visit here today?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mona. See ya. So how cool was that? I clicked one button, and just like that, I was connected to Mona, our receptionist, and she allowed us, for us to be able to take the tour today. So here at Zoom, we are still not back to the office. So you're going to see an empty office here that we're preparing for when Zoomies go. But like Scott said, this is a normal floor here, not an executive floor or not an EBC. More about kiosk mode. In the past, I would say that this was a difficult application to run. You'd have to buy hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of software in the background, and you'd have to buy devices that would cost $10,000 to $15,000 per reception area to be able to accomplish this. Now with the DTEN Me, you can go on a DTEN's website. It retails for $799. And so think about that. That's all you need is this DTEN Me to start this. We don't charge here at Zoom for the actual kiosk mode, so you get that free of charge with the Zoom Room license. That's all you need to do is provide the Zoom Room license on the device itself, and we also don't charge for the actual routing features in the background. So very powerful what we could do. More to come. We're just getting started with kiosk mode. So today we have a single button. That's how we started it. Quickly, customers would tell us, hey, we need additional buttons on here. So, customers would tell us we need one for the delivery person. We need one for an employee directory. So that way I can maybe reach someone directly from here that's the employee directory if you want to publish that. And of course, we have the receptionist button. So we're adding that to the next revision of this. We're also adding the capability, if you don't want to touch this, to simply walk in front of it and wave. And that is a hands-free experience that will automatically launch the call to receptionist and you're off and running. So how cool is this, that this is all built on the Zoom platform? You don't need any additional third-party software or any integrators in the background with custom software to build this. So, everything we see here today, by the way, through Zoom headquarters is done on the Zoom platform and with DTEN's devices. So very powerful here. We don't need any integration in any of these spaces. Very simple to deploy. And, back to you, Scott. Any additional things you want to add on this?
No, I think you're absolutely right. And here towards the end, we'll get into those advancements that you guys have made just to make this a more powerful tool. But like we've seen before, customers integrating this not just as a receptionist, but really communicating with any sort of division within the company as well, right? For support, for concierge. So I think this is a really powerful tool, and you guys knocked it out of the park here with virtual receptionist.
Well, thanks, Scott. We couldn't have done it without these devices from DTEN. So thank you guys for coming through on the hardware side. As I walk through the office here, again, this is our floor 2 here in San Jose, California. You're going to notice all of our rooms have scheduling displays outside of them. So that's another thing that we made it super simple for the Zoomies to be able to come in here, see if the room's reserved, and book it on the fly. Come on in. This is basically right here what we call one of our huddle spaces. So here at Zoom, we define a huddle space as a room that has 2 to 4 participants. And when we design these spaces, we want to make them as simple as possible. You'll notice here we took a minimalist approach. And all we have here is a D7, if you will, here on the wall. All we had to do is mount it, provide power to it, and network. And the network could be wired or Wi-Fi. So very cool what I could do with this device over here. What I'm going to do is take you through, an experience of using this device. First, what I'm going to do is show you a local presentation here, not in a Zoom meeting. And then second, we'll actually join the actual conference from this device. So we're always asked, do I have to be in a Zoom meeting to take advantage of a Zoom room? And the answer is no, absolutely. Let's picture this. What's one of the most common things people do when they walk into a conference room? They simply walk into a conference room and they want to have a whiteboard session. So we do not have to start a Zoom meeting for that. I simply walk in here and I can go ahead and click on my whiteboard over here. Now, what you're going to see here is on the fly here, I'm able to basically start my whiteboard session. I put my shapes on so that way it can correct my imperfect circles. And just like this, I am doing this on the fly where I'm saying, okay, you know what, I want to build out more video conferencing rooms. So, we're going to connect them to the network. Very simple what I could do here. I just simply walked in, clicked the whiteboard, I was off and running. Now, what happens when we're done with this actual whiteboard session? Do I take out my phone and take a picture like we always have in the past? Absolutely not. This is very cool. I don't have to do that anymore because I used to send that out immediately afterwards or sometimes even forget. Now what I could do is simply walk up to the board, type someone's name. So here I'll type one of my colleagues' names here. And just like that, once I do that, it goes to our employee directory. I simply can click on this and send them the actual whiteboard right there on the fly. Very powerful. So just like that, we did a whiteboard session, sent it out in someone's inbox. Today, that is an actual JPEG. I only mention that because we're going to revamp whiteboarding as well, and the DTEN devices are going to take full advantage of that, meaning you just saw me save a whiteboard session to JPEG. In the future, they're going to actually save to a chat session, and that will be what's called a living whiteboard. The cool thing there is when I pop it back up again, it's not going to just be a JPEG. It's going to be a living image that I can continue to erase and add. Also, infinite whiteboard, we're adding that capability as well, which means I can pinch and zoom and continue a whiteboard session infinitely. I don't have to, start a new session every time I run out of space. Really, really powerful what I could do. Now, what else could I do? This is a big phone. If I walk into the room and simply dial, my actual cell phone, I hope I don't get a lot of crank calls after this, but you can see here now that I'm dialing my cell phone. And when I do that, you're going to see here it's ringing. So how powerful is that? Just like that, I walked into the room, created a phone call right from this device over here. So what else could we do over here? Pre-pandemic, we were told, hey, look, wireless screen sharing was kind of a nice to have. But let's take a look at this over here. I could take my HDMI cable and do what? Get rid of it. Who needs that? That's a high touch point. We want to do things, really cool things like wireless screen share. So what I'm going to do simply is jump on my laptop over here and show you guys what that experience is like. So as I jump on here, all I did right here is I got my laptop. It found the room. So there's an ultrasonic frequency beacon coming out, and just like this on the fly, I am sharing this website over here, on here, scrolling through it, wireless. All of our customers are saying post-pandemic, wireless screen sharing is a must-have. So very powerful what I could do there. And when I'm done sharing, I can go from my laptop, hit stop sharing, or simply click it on here. Now what I want to do is everything I just showed you was local. I didn't have to actually start a Zoom meeting. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to join from the room itself. So bear with me here. Okay, so we're going to get the call invite from Franklin over here, who's doing the magic in the background, and we're going to join the meeting. So I'm going to cut over to this device.
Recording in progress.
All right, so now you guys are hearing me from this device. Bear with us as we switch over. For those of you in the background, what's happening is actually we're escalating this to a panelist. So it's a little more difficult in the background because in a normal meeting, it would just cut right over.
Recording in progress.
Okay. All right, so now basically I'm on the device itself. And again, like I mentioned, it's just one actual device here, all in one we call it. And on here, the power of the microphone is understated right here. I'm gonna walk to the back of the room over here. I'm always gonna be talking in the same tone, but this is how powerful these devices are. We're always asked, do we need ceiling microphones? Do we need table microphones, ceiling speakers? Absolutely not. I'm actually gonna turn around and whisper. So, this is a really good webinar we're having today. And we really love everyone who joined today. I don't even know if you heard me or not, but if you did, that's how powerful that microphone is. And I'm assuming you are because I'm getting the head shakes now. But this is the all-in-one. And the cool thing here is, again, if I want to start a whiteboard session with everybody, I could do this on the fly. So just like this, I'm doing this. I'm creating the whiteboard with you guys. We're doing all of this. And when I'm done, I simply hit close. I'm not going to save it today, but everything I did before, I'm able to do on the fly. So very powerful what I could do with the huddle space. So this is just an example. In a short amount of time, I was able to walk in, do a whiteboard, do a phone call, jump into the actual meeting itself from this device. So very powerful what we can accomplish. So we've covered kiosk mode, virtual receptionist, huddle space. Let's go take a look at another space as well. So bear with me as I join from another space. I'll bring this with me. All right, I'm walking down the hall over here, and what we want to do next is take you guys over to one of our classroom, which is basically a hybrid learning center. And this design right here, you're going to see, was built based on a lot of feedback we got from K through 12 and higher ed. Okay, bear with me.
Recording in progress.
Yep, okay. So what I'm going to do now is, bear with me as I'm going to just lower this volume here, is explain this, what you're seeing here. So in this room right now, what you're seeing is what we consider a hybrid learning environment. Now in the past, whenever we would create these classrooms, if you will, we would usually go to what was called an AV integrator, and they would usually recommend that we have multiple cameras in the room, multiple microphones, whether that's ceiling microphones usually, and then also ceiling speakers. So very complex setup. And you know, the highest utilization that we get from these rooms over here is when we set them up this way. We have this as a 45-degree angle, and right now, give me a second, and I'll go and join from the actual device itself. So before I do that, let me just go ahead and kill the volume over here. And Ed's gonna come in and show you guys. Super simple setup. So all we did here was, again, provided power and network, and that could be wired or wireless. So in the back over here, this is it. This is the setup. And we only mention that because we're always asked, you know, do you need ceiling microphones and all this stuff? And the answer is absolutely not. So I'm going to switch over to the board itself right now so you can see what the experience is as I'm an instructor and go from there. Okay. All right. So you guys should be hearing me now from the device itself. And I would just say that, you know, what we've heard a lot from instructors is, you know, instructors during the pandemic, when they were teaching remotely, it was always a teacher anchor to one spot, usually like, let's just say up here in the front, or just on a desk at home, and all students were remotely. Now we're in an era where we have this hybrid learning environment where some students are in class and some students are out. And what we keep hearing from the instructors are, you know, we want to be able to move around just like we would in the classroom. So here you're hearing me walk around. I'm going to walk all the way to the back. And again, same tone. During this entire time, you're hearing me from those array of microphones. How powerful is that? I'm all the way in the back now. And, you know, this is what blows away instructors is the instructors always say, you know, can I hear you? Can the students hear me remotely? And once they do this and they say, wow, we can hear you loud and clear. Also, the remote students, they're getting a window into the classroom. They keep telling us the feedback there is they want to feel like they're in the class. So they want to see both the instructor and their classmates in there. So very powerful what I can accomplish with this DTEN all-in-one device right from the classroom. What else can I do? There's some really cool things. So just like I showed you before, if we want to do, you know, a math session, we could do this on the fly, right? I'm going to do simple math because quite frankly, I'm not a mathematician, but you get the point here. And I can also collaborate with a student remotely, or if this is a hybrid learning environment, right, in an enterprise and organization, we could do this all remotely as well. So very powerful what I could do here. Now I'm getting collaboration done with my colleagues over here as well. So very cool what I could do there just on the fly. We started a whiteboard session and I can see here someone wants to play, you know, tic-tac-toe with me and they're slow. So I'm just gonna go and take the game just like that. Now, there's more here. If I wanted, instructors always tell us, what about if I have an actual document camera? And you know, this right here is really cool because I can have my document camera and just like this now, I'm sharing with my document camera, both students in the actual classroom can see my document camera over here. And so you can see over here that, you know, I can say, hey, look, this is the crayons. We wanted to put something colorful for you guys to see, but everybody in the classroom is seeing my document camera as well as you're seeing me. So very, very powerful what I could do right from this device. And by the way, this whole time, I didn't have to pick up a laptop or extra software. It's just all done on the fly. That's another feedback we got, which is we want to make it as simple as possible. So, you know, this device right here, I'll also mention, we keep hearing the feedback and it keeps coming back in. And it's extremely powerful because we're always told by instructors, and Scott and I have worked with a lot of them. They keep telling us, you guys do realize this is a local presentation device, a local collaboration device for in the classroom. So post-pandemic, instructors keep saying, hey, we're going to continue to use this because it's so easy. So they quickly tell us they go away from their overhead projectors, they go away from their television sets that they had before, and then they just collaborate with this device because they can quickly whiteboard, quickly do their document camera session. And if they want to play a video, we keep hearing that this is much clearer to play an actual video in a classroom versus an overhead projector. So very, very powerful what we could do with this device here in a hybrid learning environment or a classroom here. So, you know, anything else you think that
we want to add here, Scott, please feel free to chime in. But
yeah, no, I think you're spot on, and that is what we hear from all educators is it's all the tools, old and new, all combined into a much more modern, powerful tool. So, rolling a TV card in with the VCR, mixed with the whiteboard, that's it's not being shared amongst people that are remote or in the room at the same time. All those tools, available in a single device with Zoom software is just pretty incredible, and it really does, kind of change the game for educators, and the feedback's been incredible.
Yeah, and how powerful is that microphone, right? I mean, you don't have a session unless you have a microphone that's powerful enough to pick it all up, and so that's one of the big things that you guys have done and hit the nail on the head there, right? That was amazing microphone technology that you guys developed there.
Absolutely, thank you, sir.
All right, we have one more stop left on the tour here. So I'm gonna go ahead and hang up this call and switch over to my microphone. Bear with me.
Okay. So, we've done a lot here. We've shown you guys now a classroom. We've shown you a huddle space, the kiosk mode. There's more that we do here at Zoom headquarters, and that is we have what's called phone booths. As we walk through the office over here, and again, we haven't returned ourselves here. We don't have a date on return yet, but we are preparing the headquarters here for the day that this is all full of Zoomies. We have what's called a phone booth here, and we've developed this phone booth over here with the DTEN. This is the same device, by the way, that we use at the front of the tour. And this device right here, this is our little phone booth. I can come in here, relax, and have a private session. I don't have to be in an open environment. If it's only me or one other person, this is really cool with the phone booth and what we can accomplish here. Now, again, just like in the huddle space, I could do a lot of things locally, or I'm getting a call here. I'm going to join the actual meeting, the webinar, from this device as well. So bear with me here. What's going to happen now is I'm going to be escalated as a panelist. You wouldn't have to do that step in a normal meeting, but we'll switch over right now. Bear with me.
Scott, how you doing?
Hey, fantastic, sir. Appreciate the call.
Yep, awesome. So now you guys are seeing me right now, actually in a call. So, I'm talking to Scott right now. I can quickly pivot as well. So Scott, let's talk a little bit more about our floor plans. We need you guys to send us some more DTEN devices here. So, we have these conference rooms that we filled out, but we have more they're on the way. And so I just want to make sure that that we need one over here, we need one over here, and we already have these already filled out, so we're good there. So just wanted to give you the heads up on what we're doing here on our phone booth. How cool is this that we're doing this on the fly, and now Scott's going to send me some gear over here, hopefully some free gear, right, Scott? Or never, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. So, just to highlight that, I'm also annotating into this environment. So you'll see both of us can be interactive in this whiteboarding feature. So it looks like you're green to go, Mark. You've got 6 new devices headed your way.
I appreciate that. I love it. And you know what? If you want, I could even do the same thing here as we did before, which I can send Scott over here to his email, the actual whiteboard session we just did. So very powerful what I could do there. Let me go ahead and close this out. Some more things we could do as well. We have the mute. So I'll unmute it again so you can see all that functionality. I have the whiteboard which I showed you guys. I can change my views. This is also a speaker phone, so I can come in here and do a simple audio call if I need to. Very powerful what I can accomplish right here from this phone booth environment. So just couldn't stress it enough. And by the way, super simple to set up. Power and network, and that's it. We always recommend that you use Ethernet if you have it. If you don't, you can always use Wi-Fi. So very powerful what I could do here with these devices. And this is just a little sample size of what we're doing here at headquarters at Zoom. We're doing a lot more of these rollouts and a lot more exciting things as well. So, stay tuned for more. Now we can switch over back to you, Scott. I know you wanted to talk a little bit more about where we're headed with some of the things like wayfinding and some of the other stuff.
Yeah, 100%. I can't thank you enough, sir. Appreciate this. This has been fantastic. And Thank you on behalf of all the attendees for giving us a little sneak peek into the Zoom office, man. Thank you.
No problem. I'll hang out with you as well, just to talk about this.
Yeah, great, fantastic. So, as Mark touched on, kiosk mode has been really popular. It's really gaining a lot of momentum, and a sneak peek here on some options here to run your front desk, to run your kiosk. So we work with a company called Urban. They've designed this fantastic stand, this kiosk stand, so you can really kind of place these devices anywhere in any format. So that's fantastic. And like Mark talked about, there will be additional on-screen buttons for checking in, for scanning QR codes, and then also that touchless option as well with some of the gestures. So that's going to be very exciting to see that roll out towards the end of the year. Another great thing, I know you guys are working with a company to kind of provide input, right? Take that check-in survey. So you are allowed to ask questions here in the new kiosk mode, have that visitor fill out key information that you need. Of course, they're going to tap that meeting button, connect with that receptionist, and that's going to provide more than just one user, right? You can actually put that video into a queue, have multiple receptionists be able to answer that call so you don't leave a visitor waiting. And then finally, as far as printing out that check-in information, having that tag that you've completed the process, and printing that out with some great partners and additional software and apps to plug into this. So we're really excited about the kiosk mode, where it's going, Mark, and I think you guys have done a great job developing that with customer feedback in mind, right? That's what's great about this. Yeah, it's 100% customer driven. And I think that's what's fantastic is getting that feedback from people that can really utilize this tool and just making it a better experience for them.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. And you could see here with what we're working on next is the Envoy integration. So we could do things like badge printing, and we don't have it yet, but we're being asked, what about access control to possibly unlock the front door? We're looking into that, but we need to make sure we build in a safe manner. So and make sure it's secure. So more to come with front desk and kiosk, as we mentioned before. And you could do it with the DTEN Me, or you could do it with the D7 all-in-one device. So it's very powerful where we can put these applications.
Yeah, 100%. So now, Mark, I think I want to jump into the Me Pro, right, which is the next level of this personal device that we've developed. It's that 27-inch all-in-one touchscreen, but now comes with DTEN Smart Connect technology, which is really powerful. So I was able to create a video here from my home office, kind of showing a small walkthrough of the Me Pro and what that experience is like. So here. All right, guys, so I'm here in my home office to show you the new DTEN Me Pro. What's great about the Me Pro is it comes with DTEN Smart Connect technology, and that allows you to pair your device with your own personal device. So as you see here, I'm connected to my laptop. We use USB-C and HDMI to create this hot desk hoteling environment where you can come with your own laptop, your meetings client, all your content, everything you need to share is obviously on there. And it makes a great synergy between this Zoom Rooms device and your personal device. So as you can see in personal mode, I'm here logged into my DTEN Me Pro using my Zoom license. I'm in PZR, and that allows me to live all in Zoom Rooms mode. Starting a meeting, my meetings are on here, my contacts are on here. You have the whiteboarding on here as well. So all this you can do from the DTEN Me Pro just in the Zoom Rooms environment, which is great. The added feature here is driving it from your laptop. So with a 3-finger swipe across the screen, I can now enter monitor mode, and that's going to become a second display here for my laptop. As you can see, I'm now in a shared environment here with my personal device, and it still allows me to bring Zoom into the DTEN Me, but use the peripherals that come with this. So you get an upgraded camera, you get the microphone array, you get the speakers, but what's even great, you also get the touch technology. So it allows me to check my chats, use my Zoom phone license. I can still see my meetings. I can still whiteboard in those meetings without using a mouse. So it's really incredible, the experience where you can re-enter the office, bring your device and sit down at a station for that day and be super productive. Go through my Zoom meetings, but also use this as a second display so I can stay productive and still work on those important projects that I have. So really exciting stuff here with the DTEN Me Pro. Please reach out if you'd like to give it a spin. I guarantee you'll be very impressed with how these two technologies work together, where you can drive that Zoom experience really from either device, but they're equally as powerful. And I think it's a great new solution here that DTEN and Zoom are bringing you together. Yeah, so really cool stuff there, Mark, right? Being able to just have that hoteling and that hot desking option, right? So, you know, we talk to facilities managers all the time, and they want these spaces to be shareable. So if they have remote workers and hybrid workers, they can reserve these remotely or once they get in the office, right? And that's kind of that first photo is the wayfinding, that enhanced digital signage, which lets you see available devices on that floor where you can then reserve them, show up and enter that device as a personal user and use some of that you know, great Zoom technology to stay productive. And what's great is it's more than just meetings, right? It's driving that content, it's annotating, it's collaborating, and I really think that this solution is going to be great for that return to the office.
Yeah,
So,
and just really quick, some more on that, right, Scott? It's the wayfinding is again one of those. Before it was a nice to have, now it's becoming a must have because the workforce is so dynamic with the hybrid workforce now. You know, we're hearing things like we're not going to have assigned seating; it's going to be open seating. So, you know, hot desking, if you will, or wayfinding, that gives me the ability in real time to see the map you're seeing here in the bottom left, to see what is available and what's being used. And the data is coming from not just your calendar, but also the, you know, the Zoom room itself. So the DTEN device in that room, we're seeing that it's being used. And so therefore we know that that's not an available room. Now on the fly, I can actually touch that green space and I can reserve it on the fly. If you're using a digital signage with, for example, a D10, D7, all in one, which has touch, then I'm able to do that on the fly. So very, very powerful what we're developing there. And you'll be able to leverage the D10 devices to take your digital signage to the next level. So this is, again, another feature that we have with one Zoom Room license. You can get unlimited digital signage throughout the environment. And it's very powerful what we're bringing with wayfinding, hoteling, and hot desking.
yep, absolutely. I think it's just a whole new experience, right? Being able to re-enter the office safely, you know, grab a station, stay productive, and also have the same tools at home being remote, and you have those tools in the office, and they just blend together seamlessly. So you're always in that same environment. It's very intuitive. Your employees know how everything works. Everyone's comfortable with it because it's that shared experience. And I think that's really what's going to drive specifically Zoom to be that #1 tool for hybrid work, and DTEN being that device manufacturer to deliver that experience.
Absolutely.
So with that, that pretty much starts to wrap up today's webinar. So remember, we just went through some of these new use cases so you can be successful in your hybrid work approach. also in your hybrid learning approach. So, you know, Zoom and DTEN have been paying attention to both of these customer needs from K through 12 and higher ed, all the way up to our small, medium business, to our enterprise customers. And that innovation, that feature releases, it's all being driven by the customer, right? Customer success. We both strive to, you know, to really deliver that #1 industry leading experience. So whether you guys are interested in kiosk mode, the huddle rooms, a hybrid classroom, this advanced digital signage, which is really crazy, you know, just say it one more time. One Zoom room license gives you unlimited digital signage. I mean, that's just amazing. And your in-office phone booths and your hot desking and hoteling. So, you know, really DTEN and Zoom can be that single provider for your entire ecosystem when it comes to both hybrid learning and hybrid work.